welcome back to the podcast. This is the news hour, and I'm your host, William Bart. We've got several subjects for you now. Jon Stewart, Pete Buttigieg mock J.D. Vance campaign. J.D. Vance double downs on childless cat lady comment, and a clip from Brian Krasenstein, of that interview. J.D. Vance slams Jennifer Aniston for childless cat lady comment, and along with some other things. I got a fun little supercut clip for you at the end here. And if you haven't already, please smash that like button, and let's jump into the news. Jon Stewart and Pete Buttigieg. Boy, did that dude drop a turd on launch. The Democrats are going absolutely insane over J.D. Vance, and just all the outlets are going, J.D. Vance, J.D. Vance, J.D. Vance. The Daily Show host Jon Stewart and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg ripped into J.D. Vance's first days as a vice presidential candidate, with Stewart calling it a turd of a launch unlike anything he's ever witnessed in politics. Buttigieg joined Stewart on Monday night as rumors continue that he is on a short list to be the Democratic Party's vice presidential pick for presumptive nominee Kamala Harris. While discussing the Harris campaign, Buttigieg argued that focusing all on Donald Trump would likely be a mistake, especially with his running mate having so much the Democrat said should be exposed to voters. Boy, did that dude launch a turd on launch. Yeah, it's pretty sad that they have to keep going down this way. Let's watch the clip from Brian Krasenstein.
I think, look, there is a temptation to have our message be entirely about Donald Trump because we're so disturbed by what his return would mean. Right. And maybe a little more also about J.D. Vance because of how odd he's turned out to be.
Weird. They keep saying that.
I gotta tell you, boy, did that dude drop a turd on launch. Like, I've never seen anything like that, where they were like...
I'll be honest, I used to like Jon Stewart when I was a kid, like in my teen years. You know, watch him come on the Comedy Central show, the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Those are some great times. But nowadays, I feel like he's lost the plot.
Yeah. One day they were like, the heir to the MAGA fortune and the Prince J.D. shall march. And he comes out and he's like, I hate cat ladies, you know.
And I'd like to specify, when J.D. Vance rails on childless cat ladies, he's not talking about women who can't have children. He's talking about women who choose not to have children. And that group also includes male feminists who do the same thing.
That was rough, and you know, just like systematically insulted so many people. And it's not just the
systematically insulted people who have no stake in the future of existence.
The kind of things he said, but the policy ideas behind them. Like, he has this idea that you should get extra votes if you have kids.
Extra votes?
Yeah,
and I agree with that. I think people should get extra votes if they have children. It makes sense. It sounds fair.
Suggested that you should have extra votes if you're a parent.
Really?
Now, I think there's lots of things.
You don't even get that in your own house. I'm a parent.
I don't know what household Jon Stewart grew up in. Maybe his child. I think he has children. His child says, "I want ice cream for dinner." He's like, "Okay." The child says, "John, I want ice cream for dinner." And you know, when I was growing up, my parents would just cook whatever they chose to cook. They didn't come to me and ask like, what do I want for dinner? It was just, they make something, I eat it, and that's it.
You don't get anything.
True, I'm starting to find that. I mean, ours are not yet 3, but And it's rooted in this strange idea that it's not just, he doesn't just say that being a parent gives you, an important role as a citizen, which I agree with, or that it gives you unique perspective on the future. It's that not being a parent makes you less.
Again, sorry that my dogs like to bark at everybody who passes by. They're very vigilant.
Like
I think that's absolutely how they feel.
He said, people who don't have children, this is a quote, have no physical commitment to the future of this country.
Wow.
And I just think about how, like, no physical commitment to the future of this country. Like, when I was deployed to Afghanistan, I didn't have kids back then,
right.
But I will tell you, especially when there was a rocket attack going on, my commitment to this country felt pretty physical.
False equivalency. While I respect Pete Buttigieg, Buttigieg, I'll say his name respectfully this time. I respect him for having been in a deployed environment involved in physical warfare. That's not what J.D. Vance is talking about. He's talking about people, again, people who choose not to have children, and so they have no stake in the future of the country. Why should those people be deciding on things that affect the future of the country if they have no stake? For example, I'll pull this up now. This is from the Pew Research Center. This is partisanship by gender, sexual orientation, marital, and parental status. And you see here, partisanship varies by gender, marital status, and sexual orientation. I'm not sure what RVs means. Let me read that. Anyways, you see here, other than gay and bisexual men and women, the biggest group voting Democrat are never married women. And you can see here that married men, they majority vote Republican. And over here, men who live with partner, that's a little bit ambiguous what that means. Are they talking about their gay partner, their partner-in-law, or maybe their you know what I mean? There's so many definitions for that word. They vote Democrat, 60%. Divorced, separated men, 53%. Women, 51%. Democrat. Widowed men, 55% Republican. Widowed women, 47% Democrat. Never married men, 61% Democrat. Never married women, 72% Democrat. So the childless cat lady comment, they're going absolutely bonkers over this, and this is what he's talking about right here. Anyways, yeah, so moving on to J.D. Vance, Jennifer Aniston, whatever. He claps back at her for dragging his daughter too into childless cat lady's drama. Disgusting. J.D. Vance is clapping back at Jennifer Aniston, who mentioned the Republican vice presidential candidate's daughter, while slamming him for saying childless cat ladies are running the country. That's disgusting because my daughter is 2 years old, the senator said of the Friends star's comments while appearing on the Megyn Kelly show on Friday. And second of all, if she had fertility problems, as I said in that speech, I would try everything I could do to try to help her because I believe families and babies are a good thing, he continued. And they've done studies on this. Republicans on average have about 2.5 babies, and the Democrat families on average have 1.4 babies. We're definitely, we have more of a stake in the future of the country. Republicans do. And so it would just make sense that people who aren't having children should just, people who choose not to have children, I would add. specify they should not be voting for things like war. Women who are never married are almost unilaterally voting for war. And I'd like to also say, I think voting should be further restricted to say that regardless of sex or gender, if you want to vote, the requirement should be that you sign up for the selective service. Then you could say, I do have a stake in the future of the country. And if you vote for war, you're going to go to war. That's it. Aniston 55, who has opened up about her fertility struggles in the past, he's not talking about you, Jennifer Aniston. Calm down. You're being hysterical. Took aim at the Hillbilly Elegy author on social media earlier this week after comments he made in 2021 resurfaced online. All I can say is, Mr. Vance, I pray that your daughter is fortunate enough to bear children of her own one day, she said on her Instagram stories, which featured a tweet showing the politician's words. I hope she will not need to turn to IVF as a second option. Excuse me. Because you are trying to take that away from her too. Ridiculous. These people, they've lost the plot. Vance, who was recently chosen to be former President Donald Trump's running mate, previously described Democratic politicians like Kamala Harris, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Pete Buttigieg as people without children who were looking to control the entire future of Democrats. How does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? He further said in July 2021, Vance is father to sons Ewan and Vivek, 4, and daughter Mirabelle, 2, all of whom he shares with his wife, Usha. Yeah. There you have it. Democrats are going insane. And let's stay silent on this one. Let's let them say their piece. The rules of war state, if your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt them. And for your viewing pleasure, I have here a supercut of all the times that Democrats have described Republicans as weird. Here you go.
Some of what he and his running mate are saying, well, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's where they are.
As weird and creepy as J.D. Vance.
Super weird idea from J.D. Vance.
Yeah, it's quite weird. They're just plain weird.
Just plain weird. Just plain weird.
That stuff is weird. They come across weird, and then they start being weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Being a really weird.
He's such a weirdo.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate are weird. Deeply and profoundly weird. They are weird.
These Republicans just being weird, it's just weird. It's really weird.
Republican weirdness goes even deeper.
He said a lot of things that are weird, a weird style that he brings, weird policies. Let's start with the weird thing, because it is a thing.
Just plain weird.
What was weird was talking about Diet Mountain Dew. Who drinks Diet Mountain Dew?
You ever seen the guy
Okay. I don't personally drink Diet Mountain Dew, but I imagine there are a lot of people who do that they've just alienated with that comment.
That seems very weird to me that an adult can go through 6.5 years of being in the public eye. If he has laughed, it's at someone, not with someone. That is weird behavior.
Weird and cultish.
These are weird people on the other side.
He kind of doubled down on his weird ideas.
I think weird is probably generous.
Simply weird. These guys are just plain weird.
Vance as weird?
As the campaign said, weird.
It really is just plain weird.
J.D. Vance, plain weird.
No, I don't know how else you could read it.
Weird. It is kind of weird.
We're not afraid of weird people.
The other side, they're just weird.
Why are you being so weird? Vance has done something more extreme, more weird.
No matter what kind of weird stuff they keep saying.
Trump and Vance are just weird, in addition to being dangerous to democracy.
That's the weird part that's the most engaging.
Whom he addressed as my beautiful Christians, which was super weird.
Weird tech bro, J.D. Vance.
He's a weird guy.
J.D. Vance, uneasy and sort of weird.
Frankly, for lack of a better word, that he's weird.
Sarcastic remarks that aren't even funny, and he kind of shows that he can't really deliver a one-liner.
So, Sam, weird is the word here in terms of initial impressions from Vance to the American public.
Some of what
weird. I also saw an interesting take on this from Carl Benjamin of the Lotus Eaters. Let's pull him up. Here we go. Sargon of Akkad. Where did you say that? Okay, here it is. The power of calling someone weird comes from the desirability of conforming to your in-group. However, if your in-group is made up of freakish, dysgenic, moral reprobates, why would anyone want to be a part of it? I certainly would rather be considered weird by such people. Yeah, and here we've got somebody commenting, counterculture. If being a wholesome family is weird, I don't want to be normal. In 1980, it was that. Punk rock was the counterculture. Oh, and that's supposed to be a middle finger, I just realized. And in 2023, it's just you're building a happy family. That's counterculture now. So, yeah. What was I going to say next? I forgot. Anyways, Democrats are laying a brick, I'll just say. Because Alex Jones said this like a year ago that they were going to try to assassinate Donald Trump. And it's because the lawfare didn't work, the lies didn't work, and now they've got all this rhetoric, the violent rhetoric, and then they were surprised. They feigned surprise when somebody actually acted on Democrat rhetoric. So yeah, this is basically their last straw. They're pulling out everything they could possibly pull out, and all they could come up with was weird. Anyways, that's about it for now. I'll be back at 4 p.m. Hopefully before 4 p.m. I mean, exactly at 4 p.m. I'm thinking I'm going to go back to the original thumbnails I was using, because I don't think the one I made is working. But if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. But for now, whatever you do, don't have a bad day, and I'll catch you later.